Most of the shadow people encountered I've collected over the years are readily explainable. The experiencer wakes to find a black human figure shadow standing in the doorway of their bedroom, or leaning over their bed, or just watching. A tightness grips their chest like the weight of a person is upon them. They can't breathe. Suddenly, the choking eases, and the shadow being is gone. This type of encounter is common and psychological.
I can't think of it. I
Yeah,
had it on.
like
Oh,
that.
wait again.
Has,
I had it
has
on
a
the
name
end of
for
my
it.
tongue. There you go.
They call it sleep paralysis. But wow, it also says another name. I'm not going to say. Psychological professor at Northwest Missouri State University said most shadow people encounters are probably the product of dreams. When people sleep and enter the REM phase, it's very common for them to see things. The fear, the paralysis, and the entities are normal. These are hormones in REM sleep that paralyze the major muscle group, and it's called paradoxal sleep. I hope I said that right. Although this happens during REM, these people don't stay asleep, and these hormones are still in their bodies. It can last up to 8 minutes, and they feel the pressure on their chest and can see people. When the experiencer becomes fully awake, the shadow person encounter is over, and left. That's left is all that's left is the fear. Wow,
Hmm.
that's pretty cool.
Did you did they did you read the different types of shadows?
Yeah, different. What they finally made the categories into
Now there's
benign and
I just
shadow
run it. I just
negative.
hi. The red eye shadows, perhaps the most frightening of a shadow person experience that the red eye shadows, this form of shadow person is described as having glowing red eyes, which cause the viewer to feel paralysis and extreme terror. They have
Yeah,
been described as the embodiment of pure evil.
yeah. This thing broke them down into one, two, three, four,
I just
five
I just run
groups.
I just ran across this, and it tells about shadow people and what are shadow people and types of shadow people, and then explanations of shadow people phenomena. And it goes on and on, and then it comes down to the conclusion. Uh, hey Jeff, we only got 26 minutes left of the show.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
Wow. And still, no one's coming to chat room.
and our listener jumped off the line.
Yep, she sure did, didn't she?
So, well, I want to thank her for calling in. She's still listening, but you can still listen to the show without us knowing it. If she's still listening in some way, I'm glad she had joined us, and hope more people are joining us. And good subject, though. Uh, we may have to continue this and do some more on it, and find
Oh
more and
no
more.
doubt.
It keeps going and going and going, on and
I
on.
know, and I.
And shadow people have been recorded in videos, both adults and children, male and female, but often as people reliving their past lives, and if they are trapped by the mind and remaining as earthbound spirits, the mysterious surrounding shadow people, the presence or and of where they come from will continue to baffle paranormal investigators and the field of many years to come. shadows is indication of spiritual conditions and is a absence of the light of truth. Could it be that shadows being beings are lost souls, fearful of what is awaiting them with the light, and described to hide themselves in the shadows? Our journey as paranormal researchers groups is a hope that we can observe and study shadow people on a regular basis, hopefully being able to learn more about them and hopefully being able to help them if needed. It is an identifying fact that shadow people sightings are steadily on the rise all over the world. What is extremely interesting with these sightings and what remains difficult to explain in objective scientific terms is that simply of the beings and being seen in these alleged accounts, especially the tall man with hats, that is reported as often by 4-year-old children as many with adults. So we'll wrap that up on that. That's kind of a pretty good conclusion on this subject. Makes you want to think. Think more about it, and we'll continue to talk about these shadow people in the long run, because it's a very interesting. Because that's what most people see is shadows, or what they call shadows, shadow people, more than they do really ghosts. But you got to consider they're both in the same realm. So, but that conclusion of the subject, we'll leave it as that, and then we'll come pick it up later on another show sometime. Maybe we'll get more people to call in and talk about it. Like I said, we'd love to hear from y'all. I mean, we still have 22 minutes left of the show, and if you want to call in and give us your aspect on this, what we're talking about, please do. I mean, we'll listen to you. We'd like to hear your story.
I love listening to stories.
If you're a paranormal group and if you've done more studies about the shadow people and the difference between shadows and shadow people, you don't want to be on the radio. You can go to the chat room. And Jeff, you can type in your question or your comment, and Jeff will read it on the air. You can be anonymous.
Yeah.
So, or just call us at 917-889-3239. We do have time left. We got 20 minutes left of the show. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be back in about 5.